You invested about $6,000 into it. You lined up versus a Scatpack. You still came out short. Would you rather have that $6 grand back in your pocket so that you can trade up? Why would you modify this trim level instead of just going out and getting the next trim level up? Each time that I load up a 5.7 build, there's a handful of guys that will say you should have just got a 392. And when I load up a 392 build, there's a handful of guys that will say, hey, why didn't you just get a Hellcat? A lot of you other YouTubers can testify to this. There's a ton of 392 guys out there that have built up their car, and you check out their comment section, and there's always those Hellcat comments. And you take a look at a lot of the 5.7 guys out there, you see the why didn't you just get a 392 comment. And this is something that I often throw out there to many of the guys that go up on my channel that have builds, and I like to hear what their thoughts are. It's two very different philosophies. One of them is, hey, get the car that you can afford, have a little fun with it, upgrade it, and you know, just enjoy the process of modifying it. And you know, a lot of people take that as that's just part of the car ownership. And there's other people that say don't even bother sinking a bunch of money into your car. You know, just do a lip spoiler, a wicker bill, and then go out and save up for the next trim level up if you're not satisfied with the performance of what you currently have. So it's very two conflicting types of ways of thinking. But I'm gonna let Tall Guy in a Hemi discuss his build. Now I'm hanging out with Tall Guy in a Hemi. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel, definitely go ahead and do it. That's his Instagram right there. He has a bolt-on 5.7, and I'll tell you, it's pretty quick. It sounds great. But the question that I really want to ask him is, would you rather have that $6 grand back in your pocket so that you can trade up, or are you happy with the process of modding this thing?
I'm happy with the process. Like I said, I've done all the mods myself, so I mean, it's kind of like I love, like it's like the car's kind of a part of me, I guess you could say. So I mean, I'd take this any day. The 5.7, I think people should mod them for sure, because they're kind of the underdog. Like nobody really mods them anymore. So I mean, you done make the change with your car, so I mean, people are trying to follow in your footsteps. So people got to mod the 5.7s, man. They have to.
So my thought is the 5.7 is held back so much out of factory, like just everything. They choke the hell out of it with the intake, the exhaust, everything. The exhaust manifold, even the tune is just awful. And you know, one thing I've told so many guys with 5.7s is do SRT exhaust manifold, SRT intake manifold, and a tune, and you'll notice huge gains.
Dude, it's a completely different car.
It really is. And you can be competitive with the 5.7 displacement, you know?
Yeah, easily.
So no regrets whatsoever, even after spending, you know, the kind of money, because you spent $6K and you did the work yourself. So a lot of guys have to actually pay a shop to do this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, it's definitely worth it. I'm definitely going to take this over a Scatpack any day. So, but yeah.
You know what, it's kind of the journey from taking, like what you said, the underdog, and constantly watching the improvement from modification to modification, right? So if you had a Scatpack, we would have this conversation about, is it worth it, or just go get a Hellcat, you know? Like if you had a Scatpack, you would be modding it, right? So I think no matter what trim level, if you mod, you're gonna mod it. If you don't mod, then you don't mod, right? Nope. So
just be happy with what you have, honestly. I mean, everybody is just so picky now. Just be happy with what you got and just build it up.
I agree.
Just have fun with it.
I think everybody has a certain amount of money, and you know, they have a little extra, and that's what they put towards their upgrades, you know, rather than maxing out your, you know, your credit card and getting the trim level that you barely can afford. You get a trim that you can live comfortably with, upgrade it, enjoy the process. And that's that. So where did you actually get these wheels? These are nice.
I got them locally. I traded my stock OEM rims and paid $200 for them.
That's not bad at all.
Oh, man,
dude, you got everything for a really good price.
Like it's like a budget deal.
Yeah. So what is it? It's 20 by 10 in the back?
20 by 10 in the rear and 20 by 9 in the front.
Okay, that's exactly the setup that I had.
Yeah.
It's nice. You notice a difference, right? When you're launching and everything.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Huge difference.
What kind of tires do you have back here?
I think they're Cooper 305s.
All right. Much big improvement over the stock.
Oh yeah.
245.
Oh,
yeah, right. 245s on even on a stock 5.7 is absolute dookie.
Yeah. They're putting them on the Scatpacks. That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
All right, so the last thing before we actually get going is, for someone that has a stock 5.7 and they're like, you know what, I kind of want to add some power to my ride, do you have any like recommendations? Do you have any advice for someone that's kind of just breaking into this? Like, what are the first modifications, or where can they look? And
so definitely check Facebook Marketplace, check eBay, check the internet, like just Google it. I mean, there's all kinds of sites with all kinds of parts, there's dealing discounts. But for someone who just started, get their 5.7, wants to mod it out, start with an intake, just cold air intake, and then what I recommend is you do headers, do your exhaust, do the headers, catless, cat or high flow cats, whatever you want to do, and then definitely do the 6.4 intake manifold, and then wrap it all together with a tune. Completely different car. You guys are going to be happy with the outcome. You won't look back, so it's going to be all smiles from there.
It's true.
Yep.
You know, a couple of bolt-ons and you're making some pretty damn good power, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't make these 5.7s out of factory to be ultra competitive from a performance angle. So you put a couple performance pieces and it's just game on.
I feel like the 5.7 should come like this from factory.
Absolutely.
Because I mean, it's holding its own. I mean, it's not faster than a Scatpack, and it's faster than a stock RT or the stock ones now.
See, the problem is you go and you put a manifold, and both intake and an exhaust manifold, even if it's shorty, the 5.7 is going to be too close to the 392.
Yeah.
You know, they want a healthy size difference between the two trim levels, just like a Scatpack and a Hellcat. You can't have a Scatpack or a 392 really nipping the toes of a Hellcat. Otherwise, it's just not worth the money to upgrade, right?
Yeah.
So, but either way, if you guys are actually looking into modding a 5.7, guys, there's so many guys out here that are doing bolt-on builds and just seeing some great results with this engine. So, all right, man, any last words? Go check out my channel, kind of a deal.
Yeah, go check out my YouTube channel, Tall Guy and a Hemi. Appreciate it.
Hey, let me tell you, this dude is really tall. I'm like tippy-toeing over here to try and get
I'm on my flat feet.
eye level. All right, guys, I'll check you on the next upload.